Hello everyone, this is Chris Fischer with Fischer Workshops, and I recently had the opportunity to visit the Southwest Leather Crafters Trade Show in Prescott, Arizona. And if you've seen some of my previous videos, I also several times have visited the World Leather Debut and the Rocky Mountain Trade Show, Leather Trade Show, which also takes place in Sheridan, Wyoming. So this is my first time to attend the Prescott show, but it's also hosted by the same owners of the Leather Crafters and Saddlers Journal. And while I was there, I had the opportunity to discuss with them a little bit about the show, the events, the journal as well, and kind of where the leather craft industry is heading. So I hope you'll enjoy the interview as well as the slideshows, which shows a lot of the brilliant work done by various artists internationally. And you can see a little bit about what's available to you if you have the time or the opportunity to attend one of these shows. So I hope you enjoy the video, and thank you for watching.
Well, the trade show was started about 18 years ago. This is our 19th year in the Southwest. The idea behind it was to just get the leather workers, the artists, the hobbyists, the instructors, everyone who can provide raw materials all together in one place, physically, not virtually. And but not only to be able to purchase and meet new people, but to also create lasting friendships, share ideas, and make things more possible for others to begin to use their hands the way we do.
And that's what I really like about this event, because I'm a YouTube artist, and so I'm trying to teach people the leather craft trade through YouTube. And what I liked about coming to this particular event the first time I joined was in Sheridan, Wyoming. And it was a really special, you get all of some of the best people in this entire trade gathered at one time. They're very generous to share their experience as well as their skill. And so you can come here, learn all about the trade, learn about the craft, and see what products and innovation is available in this amazing industry. This is a very traditional and ancient art. It's been around a long time. What excites you about the future of leather craft?
All the different directions it's going. You have all the different types of artists. You have the traditional cowboys, you have the people who make the fine goods, and you have historical reenactments, and it's just the melding of all those styles. And then those people come to the trade show for the first time and they see all the different possibilities, and then start incorporating other stuff into their work, and it's really kind of fun to watch.
When I go to Sheridan, it's this beautiful western countryside really close to Yellowstone National Park, and there's so much culture there as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that? When the first time I went there was a community barbecue. The hospitality was incredible. They had a parade. They take us out to a catered event at this amazing museum about leathercraft. So it really impresses you about not just the craft in general, but the history behind it, things like that.
Well, Sheridan's long been known as kind of the best western town.
Is it?
It's a hub of cowboy culture.
Yeah. But back when my father had the brainstorm to start that trade show in the early 90s, he went to Don King's saddle shop at the King Museum and asked him what he thought about it. And Don sat down and wrote down a list of people my father needed to invite to exhibit, and said, I'll call them myself. And you call everybody you know, we'll have a big party. And that's kind of how that started. But it wouldn't have been able to be the grand event that it is without the King family there.
Yeah,
for sure. And they have continued Don's legacy by offering the party you mentioned.
Yes.
The drum and bugle corps comes every year, gets everybody revved up for a great weekend, gets them ready to spend a lot of money. And
the whole city really gets behind the event, so it really turns into something very welcoming, very fun. And you have all the historic perspective in this beautiful cowboy town. So it's really kind of hard to beat.
What I like is they're curious about bringing that traditional Western art style into modern contemporary types of leather work, which is what I like to do, is to bring the floral carving, the Western hardware, and incorporate it into modern accessories, because I think it wows you, it keeps that tradition alive as well.
That's got to be the future for many people. There's definitely something to be said for maintaining the old traditions, but to be able to figure out how to use leather in mixed media and make something new out of it.
Right.
So that's why one of the reasons we like to promote urban style of leatherwork, where you can have, you know, your Sheridan style carving maybe off in the corner, but you can branch out and do something different that's a little more modern and seamlessly join the two, and that's a different form of artwork in and of itself.
Right, because I could really see the handcraft leather industry kind of surpassing designer brands industry. Because you have a lot of big name brands, they're very expensive, but they're not unique. Again, it's just very commercial.
Right.
But what's nice about the handcrafted industry is one of a kind. There's no one piece that's exactly alike. And the price, it's even more affordable than going out and buying a designer bag, but you got something that will last forever and can be an heirloom.
Right. And artists these days have access to materials like those really fine leathers that they didn't before.
Okay.
So it's possible for people to be making fine luxury goods, one-offs, and it's an incredible opportunity for people to be doing something, making something really cool with their hands.
You know, it's kind of funny. It's less about us inviting people and more about them calling to get on a waiting list.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do about that. As you can see, we've kind of maxed out our space here at the Prescott Resort. You know, it doesn't mean that we need to run off and find a new venue. There's something to be said for keeping it the size that it is and working within those constraints to think outside the box a little bit better and keep adding and value adding to the show in other directions through workshops and events and contests and things like that. But
because we really value the interaction, and I think that's where a lot of great things in this industry happen, because it's a lot of really fun people. So if you can keep the interactions together, it seems to really benefit everybody rather than trying to spread it out.
Right. So what would, for new leather crafters, people are just getting interested in this hobby, what would be one of the benefits, especially coming to something like this?
Well, what we tend to see is that there's a lot of information available on YouTube and various other places. That's great, and when people get started and get on their path a little bit, and then they're able to come to one of these shows. You really see the light bulbs go off because you see all the different materials you can use, and you start meeting some of these people and getting ideas, and it seems to really kind of shorten their trajectory as far as to where they're going. It gives them that, that kind of confirmation and inspiration to really take it and go new places with it.
to take that and run with it a little bit more, I'm not saying that the shows are boring, but this is our 19th, and Sheridan this year will be our 26th. People are kind of used to it. The most enthusiastic people that we see at those shows these days tend to be the internationals. And so, for instance, when we had our show in Europe the last 3 times, especially this past fall in 2018, the amount of exuberance we saw from all of the visitors was enough to keep people motivated in their shops for another 12 months until we have another show. It was that good. So you can't get that online, you can't get that virtually. And that's why we like to keep trying to providing this more tactile environment.
Right. It's nice that you have something available in the South and in the North as well. The community is really fascinating to me because when I came for the first time, I wasn't expecting to meet so many other people from Asia.
Right.
Although I grew up here in the United States, and I saw people from China, Japan, Taiwan, and all over bringing their art and competing, it really became a global community at that point.
And I mentioned in my editorial, even for the March-April issue, I think we have contributors from 6 countries. Just
really?
in one
For
issue.
That's awesome. That's really exciting to see because that's my dream is to see leathercraft just become mainstream. But what I like about it is people can do anything they want with it, from furniture to shoes to clothing and other things. So I love to go and see the different types of talent and the way that people are creative with the leather. What I also like about this is you can come, touch, and feel all the different things in one place that you can't get in a leather supply store.
Right. And once you get to really see all the different kinds of leather and hardware, it really goes a long ways to open your eyes to what the possibilities could be.
especially if you're ready to start your Etsy store or get
Yeah.
your online
Yeah.
business
Yeah.
going or start selling in a flea market or
Which
something.
is truly happening. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. There's a big makers
Taking
movement
it out there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for your guys' time. It's a pleasure
Absolutely.
being here
Thanks for
today.
coming, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank
Yeah.